we should change it up a little. I'm thinking maybe we do kind of a slice of life, kind of day in the life kind of movie.
What were you thinking?
Dredd.
Yeah, that fits with what you just said. Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we're watching Dredd from 2012. So, Bill, what did you think of Dredd?
I think I would never want to live in that world.
It is a pretty sucky world.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when they give, like, the statistics of, like, Mega City 1, a city that is from, like, Boston to Washington, D.C., with 800 million people. And then everything around it is just, like, I guess a radiated wasteland.
So it's called Mega City 1. Do you think there's a Mega City 2 out there?
Maybe? I don't know.
I'm just wondering what the rest of the world was like. I assume that Australia is just Mad Max.
Yeah.
So, is there a Mega City 2 in, like, Europe or something? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. I don't know anything really about the larger Judge Dredd world. I mean, Judge Dredd, if you don't know, is a comic about a dystopian America made by British people.
Is it called, like, 2000 AD comics or something like that?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the only Judge Dredd comic I ever read was a crossover with Batman.
Interesting. Was it like Batman went to the Judge Dredd world, or did Judge Dredd go to the Batman world?
It might have been a little of both. I don't remember. They had a couple crossovers, I think.
Okay. Yeah. But Judge Dredd, he is like a, I don't know, fairly popular-ish character that's kind of endured throughout the years, but sort of, I don't know, like his comics, I guess, are popular enough that this is his second movie.
They've tried twice.
Yeah.
And I guess, sad to say, failed both times. Not that this is a bad movie. This movie's great.
Yeah.
But the movie bombed, so therefore failed on that level.
Yeah.
There's no Dredd 2 or Dredd 3, The Reckoning.
Dredd 3, The Reckoning?
Well, and there's also no Dredd 4, Dredd Some More.
I guess not.
There was talk of a TV show from like these producers like sometime after this, but it's been over a decade. I'm pretty sure that show that's not happening.
Judge Dredd is cool. He's a cool character. He's very much into justice in his horrible world where the cops are the jury, judge, and executioner. Yeah. So
they're everything. They the justice system in Mega City 1 has been simplified to the point where it's all just done by these guys.
Yeah. I think he says something like insane, like there's like something like 17,000 crimes per day and we only get the 6% of that or something.
Yeah, something ridiculous like that.
It's just like, oh my God, so much crimes.
12 serious crimes reported every minute, 17,000 per day. We can respond to around 6%.
And, you know, the thing with Mega City 1, there's these like mega buildings that have 200 plus floors, which are like towns in themselves pretty much.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
These mega apartment complexes.
Yeah, you know, the Judge Dredd world, it's like kind of like a very dirty, I guess, cyberpunky looking future.
I think in the comics and in the Stallone movie, it's more cyberpunky, but this is more toned down mostly when it comes to like technology and stuff.
Yeah.
I think mostly for budgetary reasons.
Yeah, we got the guy with the robot eyes. I don't know if it was like intentional, but like all the cars look like they're from the 80s, except for like the Judge Dredd motorcycles, which are like futuristic.
Just want everything to look shitty, I think.
Yeah.
And the only thing that looks shittier than an 80s car is a Cybertruck.
Yeah, it does. It's terrible. But anyway, I guess the Cybertruck would fit in very well with like a Judge Dredd type vehicle.
Oh yeah.
For like
weird
police.
cyberpunk future.
Yeah.
And the technology doesn't quite work right.
Yeah.
And is terribly designed and flawed in every way possible.
Indeed. But
and it's just ugly as fuck.
It is ugly as fuck. And expensive. And stupid. And will cut your fingers off if you're not careful when closing the trunk.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And will rust in the rain if you live in the East Coast. Not that I've seen that. I've seen it. It's hilarious.
I remember when rust proofing was like a standard thing that vehicles just kind of came with.
Yeah. Not that one. You gotta pay extra for it. But anyway.
And maybe you always had to pay extra for it. What the hell do I know?
Who knows? But Judge Dredd, it's kind of like a weird thing because you know, at least from this movie, don't know any background of like, you know, the world and how it kind of got in this condition. But like,
It almost doesn't matter.
yeah, but like there are mutants now. I mean, like Judge Dredd's partner is technically a mutant, and she has like psychic abilities.
She didn't quite make the cut for the X-Men, so she's got to try her hand at a street judge.
Yeah, she's got like, I guess sort of like Professor X mind reading powers.
Pretty much.
But I guess also Professor X, I'll go inside your mind and like fuck this shit up too, powers too.
A little bit, yeah. She's supposed to be like the most powerful psychic they've ever seen, which is why, despite her not quite their aptitudes, they're like, no, let's keep trying. Let's keep trying with her. Let's put her on the street with Dredd. And it's like, all right, training mission. Big call to go on. Something else could have happened, and then the different movie happens.
Yeah.
They just happen to respond to this one call.
Yeah, she could have been like, let's go save this kitten from a tree. And Judge Dredd's like, I haven't seen a tree in like 20 years.
Or like a shootout could have started somewhere. And they're like, oh, let's go there.
Yeah.
But it's just, all right, triple murder. Let's check this out. And they go to the tower complex controlled by Mama Cersei Lannister, always up on her towers, trying to control shit.
Huh. Interesting. I was like, I didn't know that lady was something, but...
Yeah, she's from Game of Thrones. She played Sarah Connor on television once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, one of 2 actresses from Game of Thrones who played Sarah Connor somehow.
Yeah, I guess. Huh. Weird.
And I'm just like looking at House of the Dragon. I'm like, all right, who's playing Sarah Connor next? Which one of you girls is going to do it?
We're about overdue for a new Terminator movie that everybody's going to hate, right?
Yeah. May as well start a new trilogy. A failed trilogy starts.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can go for the trifecta. A trilogy of failed trilogies that failed to start trilogies.
But they already have that.
I know, but we have one trilogy, but we need a trilogy of trilogies. A trilogy of failed trilogies.
Oh, man. Pretty funny.
The fact that there's a trilogy of failed trilogy starters is impressive enough.
Yeah. But yeah, Carl Urban plays Judge Dredd, and man, he has like the most impressive frown I've ever seen in my life.
He is mouth acting the fuck out of this movie because that's all he's got to work with.
I appreciate the fact that like he never takes off the helmet in the movie.
And that was a source of contention with people because like Stallone's helmet was off after like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And like never went back on.
Yeah. I guess this movie was made before like, you know, people were like, you know what, helmets are cool. Like Mandalorian, he never took off the helmet. Except in like the finale, but like people were like, yeah, helmets. And
well, there was this thought like you can't emote behind a helmet, and you know, kind of found a way.
yeah.
And though I guess the argument can be made with like Dredd is that he's not a character like that.
Yeah.
He's kind of blunt.
Yeah, you know, we don't really know anything about Dredd in this movie. It's just like, I guess it's just like assumed he's a really good cop with like, I guess a pretty decent reputation.
He is by the book to a point.
Yeah, he's really good at his job, and his job is just his life. And that's all that really matters,
Yeah.
is the law.
I don't know if like in the comics or whatever, you see like some kind of clone program like this. I don't know. I don't know the lore. I just know the 2 movies I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the lore for Judge Dredd, but I like this movie a lot. It's like pretty self-contained in this one building. It's got a lot of cool action. It's got like a lot of slow motion 3D because, well, the movie I think was initially advertised as Dredd 3D, right?
Yeah, this was it was kind of towards the tail end of it, I think, but it was during that resurgence of 3D caused by Avatar. This is one of the few movies, though, where like they actually put a monochrome of effort into the 3D scenes, tripping ball scenes, and you know, I saw this in theaters. I saw it in 3D.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a choice. Believe me, if I had a choice, I probably wouldn't have seen it in 3D.
Yeah, definitely.
But unlike the other movies where I was forced to see it in 3D, I was like, oh, this actually looks pretty good. This is kind of popping.
Yeah.
Of course, now I'm just like sitting here at home without 3D glasses on a normal television, watching it and be like,
Let's speed it along.
God.
It's not too bad.
There was moments where I felt it went a little long.
Yeah, I guess it's a little, I don't know. Like, I guess it's like a visual spectacle when it's in 3D because it has all like the like it goes slow-mo. There's all like the sparkling pieces of glass or like water in that one scene.
I mean, I get the point of it. We're put into the shoes of the people that are on this new drug called slow-mo, which slows everything down. It makes everything go, whoa.
Also, another futuristic drug taken by an inhaler.
Yes.
I guess that's pretty close to what it's like with vapes and stuff. So
Different effects.
yeah. But it's just funny. Futuristic drugs taken with inhalers.
You know, Cersei Mama, she kills a couple people, throws them off the balcony on slow-mo as an example, and that's what gets the judges brought in. And then judges come in, start poking around, arrest one of her main underlings, and like, oh shit, they're going to find out that the main slow-mo operation's here. Seal the building, trap them, kill them.
Yeah. Also, it's like kind of like ridiculously violent too, because it's like not only does she throw the people off the top of the building, she like skins them too.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's a little excessive. Like throwing off 200 floors, they literally turn into piles of goo. But then they're also like skinned alive too. Oh, and they were given slow-mo as they were falling just so they could experience that death fall very long. But,
Crazy.
yeah. But yeah, it's pretty much Dredd and Anderson
Yes.
that have to fight their way, I guess, up the building
More
to
or
get
less.
the mama.
Yeah. She's on the 200th floor. They got to fight their way up. Though she kind of meets them in the middle at one point with a Gatling gun.
Yeah. And man, she like just demolishes like the whole like floor with that Gatling gun.
Kills a lot of innocent people in the process.
Yeah.
A lot of people often compare this movie to The Raid because The Raid has a similar premise of cops trapped in an apartment building have to fight their way out. But that's kind of where the similarities begin and end,
Yeah.
because it's not like a gigantic tower. It's The Raid's a martial arts movie.
Yeah.
This is cyberpunk gunfights, and they're different enough.
Yeah. Both good though.
Absolutely. Watch The Raid.
Yeah. But I'll say one thing about like the building where I'm just like, well, it's a horrible dystopian future, but at least they're skateboarding. I mean, like, I don't know how safe skateboarding on a half pipe on the side of a building that's like 75 floors up. I guess if you accidentally overshoot or something,
Don't do that.
I guess maybe it's more exciting skateboarding because it's skateboarding with more stakes. But if you don't land that ollie, you die. But I always think that's cool, the half pipe on the side of the building, which is one of those things too where like the way these buildings are constructed, it's just like, okay, I guess when that building was like originally made, was that like supposed to be a park and then it was just taken over by ne'er-do-well kids and then they made half pipes and stuff up there?
I don't know.
Yeah, because like, the future is very run down in Judge Dredd.
Yeah, it's a used future.
Yeah, it almost seems like the world is kind of like barely hanging in there.
I mean, most of it's irradiated.
Yeah. And there's mutants and guys with cyborg eyes too,
Yeah.
which I didn't really...
Unwilling cyborg eyes.
That's true. And, that lady, Mama, I don't really understand. She is just like a psycho. And with that, like, guy that, like, runs her computers, it seems like she's just, like, constantly threatening him when he's, like, talking to, like, people on the phone and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's the scene where, like, some other judges show up and she's got, like, the knife against his, like, stomach as he's, like, talking to them. And I'm just like, this lady's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, she is.
Or the classic line of "that bitch is a bitch." Like, but yeah, she is insane and wants to sell drugs to the whole city. And
Yeah.
when Judge Dredd finds out, like, oh, this is the whole operation of slow-mo, yeah, you're sentenced to death. But yeah, overall, it's pretty cool. Like, I like a lot of the kind of, I guess, more comic booky elements of Judge Dredd where he has like the gun with like the different like voice activated commands for the different bullets.
Yeah, it's fun.
Some of them are like cool and some of them are like just like so violent. Like I think there's one at the beginning of the movie, he says like hot shot and he like pretty much like melts a guy's like head from the inside. It's like, geez. There's the one that he has where it's just like pretty much like I don't even know what it is. It's almost like a grenade, but it has like other little things that like spread out as he shoots them.
And then there's just the stun setting.
Yeah. Which is only used for those 2 kids.
Yep.
But Judge Dredd has to think about it too.
How do you want it, kids? Body bags or juve cubes? Makes no difference to me.
He has a microscopic ounce of compassion.
He does.
Stuns the kids, warns the vagrant that he's too busy to handle right away to move along.
That guy should have moved.
He really
Got
should have.
crushed by that door.
Yeah.
Which, you know, the blood and gore in this movie is pretty good. Like, it's pretty over the top, but works.
Oh, yeah, there's the one part where Anderson tricks that one guy to try to use her gun on him.
Oh, yeah.
And nope, can't do that. They're hardwired to their users. And anyone else, they explode.
I mean, that's a nice touch, like, where the guns are encoded to the users. So, like, you know, the guy's like, I got your gun. And in some ways, you think that might be common knowledge to criminals, being like, oh, yeah, by the way, don't try to use the judge's gun, else you will get, like, destroyed.
You think that, though. I'll give this movie a little credit. There's a little moment where she's kind of in his brain and she kind of like lets him pretend to shoot her. He's using her gun.
Oh, yeah.
She's planting the thought in his head.
It's a pretty good touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie's clever.
It's clever. But they just fight through this building. It's pretty insane. There's, of course, some corrupt judges that come in later in the movie.
Yeah, it's like, all right, give us $1 million. Really, $1 million? It's like, do you know who the hell you're dealing with? Because I do. It's going to be $1 million.
Yeah, there's 4 of them. I only remember the one guy, Lex. I think Lex and Chang, because I think Chang's the one that like Judge Dredd like meets first, and then like kind of kills in a brutal way, where he like smacks him against the throat with his like gun.
You didn't ask about the other judge. Dead.
Yeah, just like immediately.
Saw right through it.
Yeah, I guess too, like, you know, the judges are not like, you know, totally like infallible. I guess, you know, some of them are crooked. You know, they're not all like weird clones or anything.
No, they're human.
Yeah.
Flawed, terrible humans.
In some ways, it's just like, you know, it's like kind of like, what does money buy in this like terrible, terrible world? Like,
Comfort.
I guess so, yeah. You know, it's such a big place, too. Like, 800 million people. That's, like, almost half the world's population.
You know, there's like that...
Not half the world's population, but, like, it's, like, a significant amount of people.
You know, there's, like, probably that one section that's extra closed off where all of the super rich people are all held up. Be like, oh, the riffraff are fighting again. Such a darn shame. Pass the caviar.
Pass the caviar. If they even have that.
Oh, they have it.
They've got it.
Only them.
Yeah. Everybody else is just like, here's your protein slurry. People are like, functional. Then again, I guess people are eating, because there are a couple of like pretty big fat people in the movie.
Yeah,
Like-
there doesn't seem any kind of like strife for food. I mean, it's probably a lot of unhealthy food.
Yeah.
A lot of...
I guess everything's just like processed and
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, it's an interesting, terrible world Judge Dredd exists in.
Yeah, we don't get too much of the wider world. We have a very zeroed in focus, because this is just a fight up the tower kind of story. You know, there's not much of the wider world. We get a little in the beginning, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you know, it's pretty good. Like I like it a lot. It's a fun watch.
I love at the end, when all is said and done, the bad guys are all dead. Judge Dredd threw Mama off the balcony
Yeah.
to a slow, brutal death.
I mean, the setup for that is good, because she has like that thing on her arm that she's like, if my heart stops, the top of the building will explode, and then you'll kill like 50,000 people.
Dredd's just like, all right, let's test the range on that.
Yeah. It's like, I don't think that thing probably could transmit through 100 floors of concrete.
And he's right.
And he gives her the slow-mo too, which is just like...
Do unto others.
Yeah.
He sends her to karma.
Yeah.
But I still love it. Like, all other judges show up. Dredd's superior shows up, who sent him with the rookie. He's like,
So what happened in there?
Drug bust.
like, that's it. That's all that was to him. That wasn't anything hard. That was just a drug bust.
Yeah.
Like, that was So I'm just like thinking, it's like, does this just happen to him like all the time? Is this just like every day? Was there something even crazier happening yesterday? Like, what kind of world is this? Where Judge Dredd looks at that and just goes like, that was just a drug bust.
Yeah, just a normal Tuesday. I mean, he did get shot like in the movie.
Yeah.
And Anderson did save him. Like, he was about to get like totally murdered, and like the one guy just thought he was gonna like beg for mercy or something, and then
Not this guy.
and then he was just like, I was
Wasn't
wait
talking.
for her to shoot you. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good moment. But yeah, the end, he just like walks off, and I don't even know if it's like one of those like just like gets on his motorcycle and they're like crime going down in like 4th Street, and he's just like, this is Dredd, I'm on my way.
Well, we kind of skip ahead because we see, because Anderson thinks she's failed her evaluation, hands in her badge, walks off.
Yeah,
And then, like, when the boss is like, so how'd you do? And he's just like, pass.
yeah,
And we see her with her helmet,
yeah,
headed towards the bike, headed up to patrol. So she became a street judge as well.
yeah. Which she should wear her helmet.
Well, she's
But-
got one now.
Yeah,
But when she wants to use her powers, she's got to take it off.
that's true.
It's like reverse Professor X Magneto problems.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know,
Like,
psychic powers can't get through helmets. That's what I learned from X-Men.
especially red helmets. But yeah, Judge Dredd is cool. It would be cool if they made more Judge Dredd stuff, but
I mean, they made 2 movies and they're both failures.
yeah, so like it's not really a viable property.
No, I mean, even though this movie was considered great when it came out, and people were like, why is this failing? This movie's awesome.
Yeah,
And is held in, like, very much a cult classic at this point.
yeah,
And, you know, people love it that have seen it, but not everybody's seen it. But it's still, you know, it's still out there. It didn't disappear. You can watch it. But yeah, that Mega City 1 show was always a long shot. It's never happening. It's just not happening.
yeah,
This is a world that people just don't care about. It is what it is.
yeah,
You know, it's at least like, look, you know, people that like this property, it's like, okay, you don't like that Stallone movie. That sucked. We got one good one. We got a good one, though.
yeah.
Carl Urban as Dredd was awesome.
A Dredd video game would be awesome, like that RoboCop game. It would never happen.
No.
But like, that's what I was thinking about while watching this game. I'm like, man, if they made a game of Dredd like that RoboCop game, that would be pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
I remember when this game came out, there was like a mobile game for your phone, but, you know, it's a shitty mobile game.
yeah,
There was like a side scroller for like the Stallone for like Super Nintendo. That
that's right.
might be okay. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never played it.
Might suck. Who the hell knows?
As a child, I always got Judge Dredd and Samus from Metroid confused. I don't know why. I think it was the red helmet.
I remember seeing Judge Dredd on TV when I was a kid, watching it, thinking he looked cool with the helmet, and then he took the helmet off, and I got upset.
Yeah. It's just like, I didn't come here to watch Rocky.
I don't think I knew who Stallone was yet
Yeah.
at that time, because I was pretty young.
I know the Stallone version too. He's got like the massive like eagle like shield thing.
Yeah, he's got the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
The suit is probably, except for the weird codpiece, I think is more comic accurate.
Yeah.
This is more like scaled back, grounded version of the suit.
Yeah, it looks more like tactical, like
Yeah.
body armor and stuff. Like it looks like kind of like riot gear.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah. But
You know, this is a more grounded take on the Judge Dredd mythos. You know, there's it's not really cyberpunk. It's scaled down future tech.
yeah.
Gritty, used, dirty future.
Yeah, which is cool. I like that. You know, for movies, you know, it's very cool. But yeah, if you haven't seen Dredd, go watch Dredd. And I guess that's the Out of Touch podcast for this week.
I am the law.